Made 11 threes tonight. You got to give them credit. We can obviously look at our defensive numbers and say we're not happy with that, and we got to work on it. But at some point, you got to give credit. I remember down there they missed a lot of shots in the second half. Demps, Crawford, open. We're working. They move the ball. They do a great job moving the ball, and they missed. Tonight they made them. I think what ended up happening was, as they were making them, we were really struggling offensively. We go 0 for 9 in the second half from 3. They make 11 threes. We shoot 25% in the second half. They shoot 52, whatever it was. It's disappointing, but again, you have to, obviously, we'll focus on some things we didn't do that we need to get better at. But I don't like to sit here and say, we didn't do this, we didn't do that, and that's why we lost. At some point, you have to say, you know what? That team played really well against us, and give them credit.
It seemed like they milked the shot clock, worked it down to about...
Well, yeah, a little bit, but, we went with the zone for a little while, and when you do that, you run that risk. They're going to shoot a late clock. They're going to milk the whole clock. It was a 1 or 2 possession game, and we were getting some stops. I thought the zone was good, but we were concerned on the bench, can we stay in this thing any longer? It got us to a point where we were in a good position to win the game, but like you said, a good portion of the game was gone then.
Fran, do you think the team has lost at all a sense of passion and intensity on the floor?
No.
You've been a part of a team that's hit a skid like this at the end of the year. You're in the top 10 and now 6 out of 7.
Well, I've never had a team in the top 10 before. I had 1 year where it was much more prolonged. We lost 22 games. We were 20 baskets from 20 wins. So they were all gut-wrenching, tip-ins at the buzzer, in overtime, things like that. We're running into a little bit of that. The teams are, okay, our defense isn't great, but we got guys that the numbers don't equate with the shots that they're making. And it started with Minnesota. It's been fairly consistent. Illinois, same. Now again, you give those teams credit, but against Indiana, we do a good job on Yogi and Vonleh. But we know we don't lock up Sheehy and Williams, not Williams, Robinson. So, it's something that we have to get better at, but we're a little bit tentative offensively right now. We're struggling.
Fran, there was a sequence there. I think you were tied at 45. You just got it back up to a tie, and then they hit 3 straight shots that were all end of the buzzer. You had threes by Sobolewski and Demps. Just 34 seconds of defense just didn't quite get that.
And that's frustrating. And at some point you say, hey, we got to get the ball back. Mm-hmm. In those cases, a lot of times the guy dribbling the ball was a guy we had marked, Demps or Crawford. He's finding other people. In late clock, who do you not want to score? Crawford and Demps. If it's Sobolewski made the shots. You got to give the kid credit.
Do you think Iowa deserves a bid to the NCAA tournament? Will this weekend at all be nerve-wracking for you?
I think our body of work clearly equates to an NCAA bid.
Confidence-wise for this team, for young kids, it's hard sometimes when you lose 6 or 7. What do you do as a coach to keep them up?
You just keep working. You stay positive. Ironically, Jared Utah was great tonight. And we've had different players at different times. We got some guys that aren't playing well, and so it's our job, my job specifically, to get them playing the way they're capable of playing. And it's never as bad as it seems. Just like when you're in the top 10, it's never as good as it seems.
Was there attention to detail about rebounding in the second half? You're out rebounded by 6 in the first against the team you rolled pretty easily.
We talked about that, and that factors into, a number of times I was struggling with go big or go small. Mm. Go small to guard them off the dribble, and go big to rebound the ball and protect the rim and maybe get some transition opportunities. But I thought, in particular, Jared and Gabe, offensive rebounding in the second half was huge for us.
Players said you gave a great game plan. That it wasn't any of the coaches' fault, but is it them that having to fight out of this thing themselves?
They're great kids. They've got tremendous character. They're not going to blame the coaches. They're not going to blame each other. They feel awful. I feel awful. I think from where I sit, I'm the one that feels the worst because I'm the one that needs to be able to figure out how I can help them. And that's what my staff's job is. How can we help them?
Coach, you played into April last year, going on a foreign trip. Is fatigue a factor at this point this year?
Could be. I don't think so. But I think it's a fair question. But I don't think so because I use my bench enough, to make sure when guys look like they're dragging, we just go get them.
Frank, could you talk about the T-shirts that the guys wore tonight for Pat?
Well, it was, for me, when we told the team last week, it was incredibly emotional. I just broke down in front of the team, and I will never forget, Devin Marble putting his arms around me. We love you, Coach. It's going to be okay. And we still don't know if it's malignant or benign until we do the surgery on Wednesday. But we told the team, it was very emotional. They were, to a man, they all hugged me, and I went and did my radio show, and I came out of my radio show, and I have a voicemail from Josh Ogletree, and he says, Coach, we want to run this by you. We've been talking, we've designed a T-shirt, we want to wear it, in Indianapolis. And again, I broke down. And I had my wife speak with Josh, and she was thrilled. Patrick was thrilled. It just, again, it tells you, the kind of people that we have, and I just can't say how much I love them.